With the all-new Dynasty Blueprint in EA Sports College Football 27, you can build your program by earning Dynasty points to spend on NIL, staff, and more. But the fun doesn't end at graduation. With the EA Sports MVP Bundle, get College Football 27, Madden NFL 27, plus Deluxe Edition rewards in both games. Make your rise with the MVP Bundle, available now at EA.com. Rated E for everyone with mild lyrics, user interact, and in-game purchases. Includes random items. Conditions and restrictions apply. See the link for more info.
If you want all of your data in one place, if you want a single home for all of your entities, if you want to spend more time working and less time searching, you need the Intuit ERP. I know because I'm Damon John, and I run my growing business on Intuit Enterprise Suite, the AI native ERP that's powerful, painless, and proven. Learn more at intuit.com/ERP.
And now, a special edition of the Toddcast podcast.
Don't you find your spirit being lifted knowing that COVID and the pandemic, the loss of life, the loss of jobs, all of that soon will be in the rearview mirror? Sure, some people are going to die. People will still lose their jobs, but you won't be wearing a mask while that happens, or hopefully not. Being quarantined at home sucks. You can't go hang with friends at the bar, watching the fights. You can't go see a band play at your favorite venue. Can't have friends over for a barbecue or to watch the hockey game. But there has been some pretty good things to come out of it. Maybe you took some more me time than normal. Maybe you read a book or played a video game or learned how to crochet. Lots of family time. Crochet, who the fuck is crocheting? Lots of family time with the pandemic. And as a dad with two kids, 8 and 10, this couldn't have come at a better time. Playing card games and going on hikes and playing road hockey, creativity. The downtime meant that we, the podcast, got to Zoom with a ton of people. As you might imagine, everyone was suddenly more willing and eager to do interviews in 2020. Something, anything, just let me see someone and talk to them. That's what this week is all about. You'll hear from 9 guests in this best of podcast, and we'll get to a few of those musical guests in just a sec. Coming up in about 15 minutes in Listen to This, Hailstorm singer Lizzie Hale sharing a touring and traveling story about Prague and Paris, right around the time of those terrorist attacks. It's pretty scary stuff. That is powered by Tedco RV Supplies out in Langley, RV service and repair, ICBC accredited. Check. You can find them online at tedcorvsuppliesinc.com. First, a few of our recent musical guests in this best of podcast, all of whom are brought to you by Pineapple Sound, a recording and mixing studio out in Langley since 2013. They record podcasts, voiceover sessions, you name it. Check them out through pineapplesound.com. As you know, Megadeth, one of the big fours, alongside Metallica, Anthrax, Slayer, 38 million albums sold, platinum certification on 6 of the 15 studio records, 12 Grammy nominations, 1 Grammy win. And when Megadeth bassist David Ellefson Zoomed with us, we talked about his first concert, seeing Kiss back in 1978.
My very first concert was Kiss on the Rock and Roll Over Tour, February 6, 1977 at the Met Center in Bloomington.
Remembers the date.
Well, and what's funny about it is I just saw, I've seen Kiss a bunch, and of course we, performed with them and done shows with them as well. But I went to go see the end of the road tour when they came through Phoenix early last year, I guess. And I bought a T-shirt, and it had the Kiss Destroyer. It looked like the T-shirt I bought at that show in 1977. I didn't know bootleggers, but I bought a shirt outside from a bootlegger, and it was a crappy shirt. You wash it once and it falls apart.
Yeah.
And I was that kid. I didn't know, And so I bought this shirt. And so at the end of the road tour, there's a shirt that kind of looked like that. It was the Destroyer cover, and on the back it had a bunch of tour dates. And I got home and I'm looking at the tour dates, and I'm going, how come they don't have Glendale, Arizona on the dates? And I realized that these are the tour dates from the Destroyer into the Rock and Roll Over Tour, because they were kind of seamless. I think it was kind of a seamless transition. They didn't change their costumes. And I remember Eddie Trunk and I were, beefing over, like, was that Destroyer? Was that Rock and Roll Over? Was that Love Gun? Because those three kind of ran together. And I love when you get with other Kiss nerds, because And we got people to do the same with Megadeth now. They nerd out over what show, what song list, and so I get it. I am part of one of those bands now, and so again, kind of back to No Cover. It's just this whole circle. We're fanboying out and paying honor to the idols and the heroes that got guitars in our hands and gave us a path forward. And then I, of course, meet Dave and. We find our own path forward, and we've now inspired a bunch of groups, that have come behind us. So it's nice to just be part of this sort of cycle of life.
Would you be surprised to hear that AWOL Nation's hit song Sail only went to number 17 on Billboard's Hot 100? You'd think it would go higher than that, right? Big song for them regardless, off their debut Megalithic Symphony back in 2011. Sold 6 million albums and cannonballed into the music scene. They're now 4 albums in. Their latest came out last year. I've talked to their singer Aaron Bruno in the past, back when I was doing Seafox's afternoon show 3 to 7 weekdays. But yeah, it'd been probably about, 8-9 years between. Nice guy, engaged to the conversation, which is nice. Nothing like talking to somebody who's cleaning their fingernails or staring off to that far distant land. And when Aaron jumped on the Zoom with us, he talked about how he's a big fan of Star Wars and binging The Mandalorian, The Clone Wars.
I mean, I'm mostly a Star Wars fan, though, I should tell you.
Star Wars, okay.
Yeah, I unlike most people, I'm pleased with how they concluded. I'm happy with the last 3, because I thought they would ruin it, and I feel like they did a good service to the history of Star Wars, and I don't know what else they could have done. I mean, it'd be easy to tear apart the story and nitpick it, but I feel like they did a good job.
Did you binge through the Mandalorian in like 2 days or what?
Of course I did. I haven't watched Clone Wars yet, though. I want to do that. Really want to do that.
Those are so good, man. Those
are
so
they?
Good.
Yeah, I can't. I watched like 5 of them on tour, and then I stopped. And
You're
then
talking
now
like the cartoony animated Clone Wars. Yeah, they're good, man. They're good.
And then, but now I have to start over with my wife because she loves Star Wars. So I'd have to watch those 5 episodes. When you presented with that situation, you have to just do it again.
Right, of course.
And those first 5, they were okay. I could tell it was character development. I was learning who these people were.
The year 2021 is 10 years as a band for Bad Cop, Bad Cop, a very cool all-girl punk band from Cali, signed to Fat Records. They have 4 EPs, 3 full-length albums. They put out their latest called The Ride in 2020. And when their singer-guitarist Jenny Cotterill was a guest, she talked about being moved to tears, quite literally, by Wonder Woman.
Well, I love Wonder Woman.
Yeah, it took some time for her to get a movie.
Yeah, I know. We saw that on tour too. It was, so I did love that one. I think that's probably my pick. The scene where they opened up on the island and all the women were like training. I started crying. I didn't mean to. I just started crying. I was like, I've never seen this before. Like, you know what I mean? So many women and doing something powerful instead of like you see, anytime you see lots of women in a movie, they're just being hot. You know what I mean? And it's like, look at all these women,
Yeah.
But, so yeah, that's probably my pick. But I don't see a lot of movies. I'm kind of a wiener like that. I'm sorry.
Musical guests of the Toddcast podcast are powered by Pineapple Sound, providing recording and mixing services for a wide range of artists and genres since 2013. Check them out at pineapplesound.com.
There's no highways here, so we walk until the day is done. Make a temple inside yourself and fill it up with the truth. You never be beside yourself this way. Trust me, I know what to do. So many miles I've walked to find my home. Many miles, many bridges I've crossed to be let you back in, then I keep going. I don't need nobody, no savior, but the birds up north are braver. The lesson in the wind is how we can forgive and love again. As much as we hold on to the past, I will never be him again. The pieces all fit, we don't need to try so hard. I got a lump in my throat and I got a fire in my heart. So many miles I've walked to find my home. Many miles, many bridges I've crossed to be alone. So if I let you back in, then I keep going. I don't need nobody, no savior, but the birds up north are braver. Hello, my love, my beautiful one, my son. Hello, my love, my beautiful one, my son. My son. So many miles I've walked to find my home. Many miles, many bridges I've crossed to be alone. So if I let you back in, then I keep growing. I don't need nobody, no savior, but the birds up north are braver. Hello, my love, my beautiful one, my son. Hello, my love, my beautiful one, my son. Hello, my love, my beautiful one, my son. Hello, my love, my beautiful one, my son.
And now, listen to this on the Toddcast podcast.
Hailstorm is one of the most successful female-fronted rock bands of all time. They're from Red Lion, Pennsylvania, town of 6,000. And since releasing their debut in 2009, they've been one of the most consistent bands around. Radio hits, touring, Grammy Awards. They won their first for their song Love Bites in 2013, Best Hard Rock and Metal Performance. Their singer Lzzy Hale has been a guest of the podcast a few times, and the last time we talked about 50 Cent and Kanye West, aliens, soulmates, social media. We talked about the Motley Crue movie. Your celebrity lookalike, Tom Kiefer and Joan Jett, came up. Chris Cornell's death. And Lizzie shared a traveling story about Prague and Paris. Listen to this.
When we played in, the first time we ever played Prague, it was this tiny club. The PA system wasn't that great. The stage was tiny. We kind of walked in thinking, I don't know, man. Like, we've never played Prague, but like, I don't know how this is going to be. And it was one of the most absolute high energy punk rock shows
Nice.
that I think we've ever played. Same thing. And fast forward a little bit, we played Paris shortly after the Bataclan attack, and
Right.
we were expecting. I don't know what we were expecting, but we weren't expecting it to be so incredibly joyful and triumphant. I think we were expecting everything to be a little bit more subdued. Maybe less people come out to the show, because not that it would really happen at that place again, but one of those things where people were being cautious about going out to the shows.
Right.
And we have video of the crowd was moving so hard that the soundboard was shaking.
Come on.
Back and forth.
Wow.
And so we have video of that happening. We're like, okay, obviously these kids are not afraid to come out to the rock show.
Wow.
It's great. So yeah, like little moments like that happen every so often. Like, you're just not quite sure what to expect, and then everybody just proves you wrong.
Listen to this on the Toddcast podcast is brought to you by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley, an ICBC approved repair shop. Find them online at TedcoRVSuppliesInc.com.
You better lock up your loved ones, run for your life, because the heartbreak is coming. It cuts like a knife, don't get it twisted. Or act like a fool, you either head for that border or you stay in this school. This ship is sinking, this town is a joke. Costs more to die than to just stay afloat. These snakes are poison, thirsty for blood. You either slaughter that pig or track it down in the mud. Well, it's the devil's payday, and she's working for tips. Got a tight blue dress and those big cherry lips, and she's coming for me, and she's coming for you. No matter what you do. Now times are changing, we're always at war. The streets are paved with gold, but we always want more. Well, we're still breathing. How long will that last when the map to our future lies right in our path? Well, it's the devil's payday, and she's working for tips. She got a tight blue dress and those big cherry lips, and she's coming for me, and she's coming for you. No matter what you do. Really, it's the devil's payday. She's working for tips. She got a tight blue dress, big cherry lips. She's coming for me, coming for you. No matter what you do.
His name is Kellen Sipe, and I love that one. It's called Devil's Payday. Very bittersweet to play Kellen's music now, as he passed away in 2020. Just the nicest of guys. He played a show for the podcast, and everyone in the crowd was like, who the hell is this guy? Where did you find him? A big guy, a big heart, a big voice. Kellen, dude, you are missed, man. Thank you so much for the music. Played you a band called Small Town Artillery. Their song was The Birds Up North Are Braver, and you had me from the horn section. Come on, love that band. Great players, great group of guys. And if you're keeping up with them through Facebook, you've seen, no doubt, the video post about them making new music. So hopefully that means sooner rather than later. Okay, Todd's Trolls is coming up. You know, the stupid, the mean, the hurtful, but really it's the funny things that people say to what you post and what you see online. Nothing is safe. This week, the Asian Beach Games, the White Stripes, the live-to-action Mulan movie, and Foo Fighters. What? Foo Fighters bask in that white-hot spotlight, powered by our buddies at the Garage Games and Geekery out in Maple Ridge. It's your place to play Warhammer, D&D, slay trolls, and a lot more. Find them online through garagegames.ca. First, more guests in this best of podcast, and a few of our sporting guests, all of whom are now brought to you by Joyce Heating Services, locally owned and operated since 1960. They bailed my ass out at my old loft, had a hot water tank blow up. Mike and the guys came over, might as well have been wearing capes. They fixed me up real quick. We follow each other on social media, and I reached out wondering if they'd, be interested in sponsoring the podcast, and here we are. Check them out for heating or air conditioning at joyceheating.com. Now, if you keep up with drag racing, you will know of Del Worsham since 1990. Racing in the NHRA, Del is the youngest driver to win a funny car event, just 21 years old. He won the NHRA's Rookie of the Year as well the same year. He has 33 career victories, 8 in Top Fuel, 25 in funny car. He's only the third person to win championships in both. He's just a beast in the sport. And when Del hit a Zoom with us, he talked about G-forces and the difference between driving Top Fuel and funny car.
I actually drove both cars in competition during the same time at the same events. I raced the U.S. Nationals one time in both cars and won rounds in both cars. One first round, 6 minutes apart. And funny car, let's start with the funny car. I drove it first. You sit way far back in a funny car, and you can't see anything moving on the side of you. Whereas like there's no like sensation of speed because there's nothing really going by your peripheral vision. You can't see things going by. Where let's say like in an airplane when you're taking off on the runway and you're going along, you see the buildings and the road, then all of a sudden the airplane rotates and it just goes to blue skies and you don't know you're going fast anymore. Mm-hmm. So the fuel car, you can see things going by you and the sensation of speed is very great. You sit low and you can see the front wheels turning, you can see the guardrails going by, and it just feels like what you would imagine with 330 miles per hour. Our sensation of speed is not there. Anything. You're driving into this little spot out there and you're trying to look over to the engine and it's making noise and it's smoking and there's fire out of the windows and you're just trying to win and you're going down the track. And not unless something goes wrong or something throws off your sense of what's going on, do you understand how fast you're going in a funny car because nothing's just really there. As opposed to the Top Fuel car, just feels very fast. And right. It definitely, when you go to stop, both cars are about the same when you go to stop. My favorite part of the run has always been like pulling the parachutes. You pull the parachutes, you let off the throttle, and everything just gets quiet, and you basically just float at over 300 miles per hour with chutes out, and it's definitely an accomplishing feeling.
When Eddie Lack was on the Vancouver Canucks, backing up Roberto Luongo back in 2013, 2014, those were big years for me as a fan, watching every game, edge of your seat kind of stuff, go to a handful of games at Rogers Arena. You could say I was all in for those years. As you know, Eddie didn't get signed in the entry draft in 2009, but signed with the Canucks in 2010, went on to play with the Moose for a little bit, then played with the Canucks, then it was with the Hurricanes, the Flames, the Devils, did some time in the NHL. Now he's living the life, golfing a ton. He's a real estate agent in the Scottsdale, Arizona region. And when Eddie was a guest, he talked about when it was that he realized his true potential as a pro athlete.
I don't know, like I think that I always had that belief in myself that I could. Like now looking back at it, I don't think that I really had a chance, like really understood it until maybe when I signed that first contract with like Vancouver, right? Like I thought that it was always a dream, but like for that to like come like true and actually put like pen on paper, right? Like that was super, super cool.
James Cybulski is a longtime friend of the podcast. We go back to my time at 99.3 The Fox doing their afternoon show. Did that for almost 12 years, 3 to 7 in the afternoon. It's the gravy shift, really. Some people call that. It is true, though, really. Way better than mornings. I don't care how much you want to pay me. Willingly waking up at 4 in the morning is just insane. You will know James present day as part of that. The starting lineup on Sportsnet 650 here in Vancouver. And you'll know him and recognize him for so many reasons. TV sportscaster, reporter for Sports Central on TSN. He was on Sportsnet Pacific, co-hosted Sportsnet Central with Carolyn Cameron, was nominated for a Gemini Award for his work in the 2010 Winter Olympics. He won a Gemini for Best Sports Feature the following year for his sports story about the relationship between Terry Fox and Jay Triano. He's the play-by-play commentator for EA Sports' NHL franchise, starting with 2020. James is a huge comic book nerd like me, and knowing that, you know I had to get into that world with him. Listen to him talk about his initial reaction when it was announced that Pattinson was going to play Batman, and then we got into the nuances of some of the actors who have played Bruce Wayne over the years.
Well, I never read the Twilight books, and so my first thought was like, oh boy, Team Edward, really, or whatever. But man, it works, to kind of see how, he looks. To me, I think an important element to wearing the cowl is you need to have a bit of the jaw, right? Like I got a little bit of a turkey neck here. So like, I just couldn't pull off Batman. Right. And I recognized that early. I just don't have that square jaw, which is why I got a little bit.
So you won't be auditioning for that, but you will be for the Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's it. I'll be a great Jack Sparrow stand-in or stunt double to get blown up in a ship. But no, I think from what I've seen from Pattinson and from the trailer, he looks legit, man.
It looks pretty good, right?
Like I always look at Ben Affleck as the guy from Mallrats. Do you remember that movie, Mallrats?
Great movie.
Yeah, but like Affleck's character, he plays like the biggest D-bag, right?
Just a total douche.
A total. And so it's always tough to kind of shake that. It's like Bradley Cooper. I still, no matter how good, and man, he was great in A Star Is Born, but Bradley Cooper to me is still the guy from The Wedding Crashers. Right? Like just that total D-bag, right? You just got to think that, there's probably, an extension of his personality that kind of just lends for that dude to be a bit of a dick. And so, which makes him a great actor. But Affleck, as much as I cringed when I saw him being cast as Batman initially, I thought, man, how do you go with that guy? And I thought he was, I might say like, he might be the best Bruce Wayne. And Bale killed it, right?
Bale,
I didn't love his voice. Bale, the only thing I didn't like was I didn't like that. I just didn't like the fact that he wanted to tell everybody to smarten up like that. But I thought,
why is that?
Why? But you know what? Grizzled Batman, Ben Affleck, I thought he nailed it. I think Pattinson's going to be all right. I think he's obviously a little prettier because he's younger, but I think Pattinson's got a chance to hit a real home run here. I'm very optimistic. I felt like I was always judging, like Michael Keaton, as good as he was, I didn't feel like Keaton had the job. I think that's important.
Sporting guest visits of the Toddcast podcast are powered by Joyce Heating Services, a family-owned and operated heating business serving the Lower Mainland since 1960. Online at joyceheating.com.
Poster bed where I used to rest my head, and now I have a different zip code every week. Sold everything I couldn't take in my 98 gold Protege, and I swear I don't regret a single thing. I had everything you work your whole life for. You can't take it with you face, my whole life fits in one suitcase. I'm as permanent as dollar store tattoos. When people ask me if I miss the stuff I had, the way I lived, I tell them none of that's worth holding on to. No, you can't take it with you when you die. Can't cash a check on the other side. There ain't no buying back your time, you know. You can't take it with you when you go. We're all the same 6 feet below. There ain't no diamonds in the sky. Can't take it with you when you die. When you die. So buy the shoes, eat the cake, take that trip, drink that drink, 'cause you can't take it with you, no, you can't take it with you. Sing that song, sing it loud, go all in, go all out, 'cause you can't take it with you, no, you can't take it with you when you die. When you die. No, you can't take it with you when you die. Can't cash a check on the other side. There ain't no buying back your time, you know. You can't take it with you where you go. We're all the same 6 feet below. There ain't no diamonds in the sky. Can't take it with you when you die. When you die. Oh, when you die. When you die.
The Toddcast podcast is powered by Milano Coffee, bringing you the finest espresso and coffee concepts in the world. Online at milanocoffee.ca.
A look at this week's keyboard warriors, Todd's Trolls, on the Toddcast podcast.
And this week, you'll hear some of the best chirping that we found online over the last few months. The next time you're surfing around online, try and steer clear of those bullshit comments. To pretty much anything and everything. It's virtually impossible. No one and nothing is safe. The multi-sports Asian Beach Games took place in Sanya, China from November 26th through December 5th, 2020.
No kidding! Beach athletics is one of the sports. Muscle-bound tough guys with a platform? Sounds fun. This is hilarious. Dragon boat racing is an actual event. Do they supply the weed too? Can't imagine spending any amount of time watching this. Boring.
The White Stripes took heat in early December 2020 as they released their first ever greatest hits album, December 5th.
A greatest hits album? It's gonna be an awfully short album. I don't think you're legally allowed to say greatest hits and White Stripes in the same sentence. What has 4 arms and sucks? The White Stripes.
Remember, the live-to-action Mulan was released on Disney December 15th, 2020, and you probably saw some of those comments.
Dear Hollywood, come on, enough. We don't want your remakes and reboots. Signed, everyone. How many W's should I put in yawn? I want to get this tweet to Disney just right. This movie is needed like Trump needs another 4 years in office.
And Foo Fighters, millions and millions of albums sold out arena tours worldwide, 12 Grammy Awards, 4 Brit Awards, an American Music Award, 2 MTV Video Music Awards, and when they released their new album, Medicine at Midnight, on February 5th, about a month back, they took heat.
Unpopular opinion. Dave Grohl needs to go away, even if it's just for a while. Is oversaturation hyphenated? I want to get this tweet right. Oh, good. More middle-of-the-road music from one of rock's most overrated. Yawn.
Todd's Trolls on the Toddcast podcast is powered by The Garage, Games and Geekery, your place to play RPGs, board games, and Warhammer in Maple Ridge. Online at garagegames.ca.
That band is Sleep Circle. It's fronted by podcast favorite Jake Tuzell. A great song for those guys called Consumed. Got a bit of a Matthew Good band vibe to it, even though I know that most bands will say, man, I hate that shit. What do you sound like? Of course, I mean nothing but the best with that comparison. Matt Good is awesome. We had Sleep Circle, in fact, play a podcast show at the Railway. I think it was right before the pandemic hit. Feels like it was about a year and a bit ago. Good band. But, I mean, really, hearing their stuff, you kind of expect that out of those guys, don't you? You heard something new for Sadie Campbell. Here's a Vancouverite now calling Nashville, Tennessee. Nashville, Tennessee is home for her now. She's down there kicking walls down, making a name for herself and loving the latest offering, You Can't Take It With You. She did a live stream, maybe it was 2-3 months back now. It was incredible. She's a natural, just makes it look effortless, impressive live. Speaking of that live music, if you're playing a socially distanced show, there are still some happening, or maybe it's a live stream event, let us know about it. If it's indie, we'll post it at the indie scene at toddhancock.ca. That is brought to you by Mystic Rhythms Rehearsal Studios, 40 plus years experience in the music industry. Find out about these guys through mysticrhythms.ca. Okay, our final guests of this episode 240, a best of podcast, and highlights from a few entertainment guests, all of whom are powered by Tomes. Let them help relieve stress and anxiety. Ensure a great night's sleep. The first 7 nights are 100% on them. It's free at tomes.com. That's TAUMMHOMS.com. TAUMMHOMS.com. Life coach and Pave Your Paradise podcast host, tongue twister, Mandy Ross went to Humber out east for broadcast, print, and digital journalism. She's a hustler. She's a grinder, quite active on social media, always positive, always centered. And when Mandy joined a Zoom with us, she talked about the broadcast industry and being influenced early on in life by, check this, The Price is Right and Wheel of Fortune.
It's funny that you actually bring this up. When I was younger, like the whole TV hosting and kind of journalism, I guess, journey of mine, there's 2 big things that come up to me whenever I think about this. One of them, I'll relay it back to the TV show question, but one of the things I would naturally do, and this is an interesting thing, my parents actually gave me a plastic play school tape recorder as a child, and I love this thing so much. I would literally run up to strangers and ask them about themselves, like just naturally. I had no sense of shyness. Like I would just take this thing and go up to people and start like literally questioning them. So lo and behold, I end up asking people questions for a living as an adult.
Yeah.
But it's funny you bring up the TV show and kind of that reference or that influence. When I was younger, believe it or not, one of the things that I used to do is when The Price is Right or when The Wheel of Fortune was on, and like my grandparents are immigrants, when they first came to Canada, they still to this day watch Wheel of Fortune. And when The Wheel of Fortune would come on, for some reason, I felt so compelled to stand up and pretend, along with Vanna White, that I was Vanna White revealing these numbers, or sorry, the letters on the screen.
Yeah.
And the number thing I was thinking in my head, The Price is Right. I would pretend that like when the woman would stand up on The Price is Right, I would just kind of stand there as like a little model and pretend that I was like, you know, showing off the TV or the, you know, the all the things on the stage. Like it's kind of funny. And then, yeah, I end up being a TV host presenter. So I would say those would be 2 things.
You'll know Erica M. as a former Much Music VJ, in fact, one of the best during her time at the nation's music station. And since her awesome run with Much, you've seen her host or appear in a bunch of great shows as well. Yummy Mummy on Life Network and Discovery Health in the US, Pop Stars, The One on Global, Real Life with Erica M., Power Play on Discovery Channel Canada, The Company, Nestle Baby and You, and Science from A to M. She boasts 3 Canadian Country Music Awards and 3 SOCAN Awards. She's written songs for Van Morrison, for crying out loud. And when Erica was a guest, I'd brought up career highlights and how surely her interview with Nirvana's Kurt Cobain had to be up there.
I had no idea at the time that would be the interview that has kind of defined my career. And what's interesting is that it didn't define my career at the time. At the time, it was just like, yeah, it was a pretty cool interview.
Yeah.
But when it was posted on YouTube about 5 years ago, outside of Much Music, where anybody could see it, and this also long after the death of Kurt Cobain, it kind of reemerged from the vaults of Much Music. And listening to him speaking today with the insights that we have, knowing that he killed himself a few months later, the conversation takes on additional depth, I guess. It was very strategic. I did very strategically approach it in a different way. When he walked, first of all, it was a junket. So if you're not in the industry, you may not know what that term means, but essentially a junket is when a record company or a movie company invites a whole bunch of media to congregate in one area. Usually it's a hotel, and you're given a hotel room, and the star goes from room to room, or the star sits there and the media goes in and out of that room and has a short period of time. So we were the Canadian contingent to interview him. I wasn't a big fan, by the way, of them. I liked them, but I wasn't a rabid fan or anything like that. And I was very worried because I had heard that he's very anti-media, because he's sort of anti-authority, right? Like he's an underground dude, and we come in, hi, how are you? Hey, Kurt, was wondering, tell me about the first cut on the album. Bullshit. So my strategy was different. When he walked in, I said to him, hey, I'm Erica. Do you want to do the interview in the bed or on the back balcony? And he was like, what? And I remember his face looking kind of uncomfortable because I was asking him to jump into bed with him with a camera. And he said, well, I'll do it on the back. And I was hoping that he would do it on the back anyway. But so we did it on the balcony. So that scene now, you could, when you've seen it, you see Seattle behind us. And I wanted to talk to him like a human being. And I figure if you talk to someone like a human being, they'll drop their guard and talk to you like a human being. So if you listen to my language, it's very colloquial. I'm kind of goofy, very, not lowbrow, but very understated and not professional on purpose. And my strategy worked. I disarmed him and we had a real conversation. And I listened while he was talking. He saw my face reacting to what he was saying. And so he was like, hey, this girl actually is interesting and interested. And so he got to actually talk about things that are important to him. Mm-hmm. And it was, looking back on it, it turned out really well. It was very special. I love interviewing. Wish I could do it all the time.
You'll know Katie Carney for a couple of reasons: modeling and golf. She has a big following. Something like 500,000 people follow her online. Katie also has a degree in journalism. No doubt you'll eventually see her hosting in pro golf. I mean, watch the full YouTube video. You'll get the feeling that she would absolutely crush in that role. Listen to her talk about playing Augusta Golf Course and walking with Tiger Woods.
A personal highlight in my golf world was to play Augusta National. That was literally like a dream come true. It's just a spectacular course. And it was right after the Masters. So all the scoreboards and everything were still up. And I mean, like, I would just walk down the fairway and get goosebumps. It was just an unbelievable experience.
Yeah.
But
like,
it was
just
also
thinking
very
of the people that have walked there before you, right? Like, exactly. I'm walking, I'm playing the same course that Nicholson played, Norman played, and all the greats.
Yeah, it was really, really special. And we got to stay in the cottages on the property. They COVID test you when you got there. And if you tested negative, if you tested positive, they literally just drove you off the property and were like, good luck. So I was really nervous. Passed, obviously. But that was really, really special. But my very first job in golf was the PGA Championship in St. Louis, which was ironic because that's where I'm from. So it was really full circle, and I got to walk with Tiger, and that was just really, really special. And that's really what got me into golf and what made me fall in love with it. So then I decided to stick with it and start doing the golf travel and golf freelance promotion.
Right. Like Joe Walsh says, life's been good so far.
Yes, it has.
Entertainment guests of the Toddcast podcast are powered by Tomes, where quality sleep matters. Find out more at tomes.com. That's TAUMMHOMS.com.
are called Hazel Blackburn, and the song is Swamp Fortress, easily one of my favorites in the local scene here in Vancouver. I thought you might like it as well. We've had these guys play a few times over the years, and the live scene needs a boost. We'll hopefully see that coming sooner than later, hopefully by summertime. Just a matter of time, really being smart and kind of masking up and keeping that social distance thing, limiting unnecessary travel, getting the vaccine when it becomes available. Of course, you know that, doing your part to kick COVID to the curb, because wouldn't it be great to hit a few shows this summer? Looking forward to next week. The Pretty Reckless singer Taylor Momsen is a guest. Here in this quick teaser, she talks about her biggest accomplishment in music.
I think that it's impressive that we're still, I think that's the biggest thing, and that we continue to grow. Like that's the most important thing. Like as soon as you get kind of content or stagnant or, pleased with yourself as an artist, and you're like, that was the best I can do. Well, that's the death of an artist. So like, we're always trying to push forward and better what we've done previously. And I think that by sticking with that kind of mentality and having that be the goal of if you played a great show on Wednesday, the show on Thursday's got to be better. Like it's that kind of, if you wrote a great song and then the next song's got to be better, and that kind of mentality is really, I think, the driving force of this band and the reason that we're still around. So I think that's the biggest accomplishment, is just that we're still here doing it and we, love it.
Really was a good conversation with Taylor Momsen. Joining Taylor next week, making her third appearance on the podcast, it's a crowd favorite, fitness trainer and model Jessica Kiernan, and he's the host of the wildly popular local podcast called This Is Van Color Podcast. Host Mo Amir is also joining us next week. Of course, wanted to give a big thanks to this week's guest too. Really appreciate everyone's time jumping on Zoom or a phone call, and to be a guest, it really does mean a lot. And I think that's going to do it for this one, episode 240, a best of podcast. My name is Todd Hancock. Thank you so much for listening, for finding me, if this is your first time, if you like what you heard, please tell your friends. Subscribe as well on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud. We're on YouTube too. We're also part of the Dean Blundell Network out of Toronto at deanblundell.com and the Boot Crew Media Network out of New Orleans at bootcrewmedia.com. Of course, comment and rate the podcast because it helps out big time. Search it out through Toddcast Podcast. Huge thanks to all of our wonderful sponsors. We couldn't do it straight up. We wouldn't do it without their support. You can find links to all sponsor websites at toddhancock.ca. If you'd like to sponsor the podcast with your business, you can do it for as little as $10 a day. It's cheap. It's inexpensive. Cheap's a negative word. It's cheap. It's inexpensive. Regardless, maybe we'll talk soon. There's contact info at the homepage. Hey, by the way, if you can help us get a sponsor, we'll give you a commission based on their ad buy. If you know a business that would make sense to sponsor us, let me know. Till next week, don't be an asshole. Nobody wants to be around that. Have fun. Play hard. And most of all, believe in yourself.
The Toddcast Podcast. Keep in touch with Todd through Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and bookmark toddhancock.ca.
Do you love Disney? Do you love top 10 lists? Then you're going to love our podcast, Disney Countdown. Hi, I'm Megan, the Magical Millennial.
And Biscuits, I'm Jeremy, aka Jarendell, and we are the hosts of the hit Disney podcast, Disney Countdown.
On every episode of our fun and family-friendly show, we count down our top 10 lists of all things Disney. The parks, the movies, the music, the food, the lore. There is nothing we don't cover on our show, right, Jeremy?
Ooh, girl, we are famous for rabbit holes, Disney-themed games, and fun facts you didn't know you needed, but you definitely need in your life. So if you are looking for a healthy dose of Disney magic, check out Disney Countdown wherever you get your podcasts.
The Tudors were probably the most scandalous dynasty in British history. This season on Vulgar History, we're spilling the tea on this messy, messed up family and the people who had to live through it all. Anne Boleyn and the other wives of Henry VIII are known today from the musical Six, but who were they really? Did any of them actually want to marry him? Henry VIII, the man who was literally the worst? How did two of them manage to escape with their heads intact? We'll also get into historical mysteries, like who really wrote Shakespeare's plays? Who was the real Bloody Mary? And what was happening elsewhere in the world while the Tudors were trampling all over England, like the mysterious disappearance of the Roanoke colony and the true story of the girl known as Pocahontas. I'll be joined by Tudor historians, experts, and a few of my friends who really hate Henry VIII to learn all about the Tudors this season on Vulgar History. Because it's Henry VIII all day, every day. Listen to Vulgar History wherever you get podcasts.
Hi, listeners. We want to tell you about a podcast we love. It's called Rebel Girls, formerly known as Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls. It's about real-life women who are changing the world with their courage, creativity, and big, bold ideas. Want to know how Taylor Swift became a superstar? Or hear how Simone Biles became the greatest athlete of all time? From immersive stories to heartfelt interviews to super smart advice, Rebel Girls brings you stories that will get you fired up to become your best self. There are over 400 episodes for you to explore, with new episodes every week. So check it out. Listen to Rebel Girls wherever you get your podcasts. And find us on youtube.com/rebelgirls. And whatever you do, stay rebel.